What is going on, y'all? I am playing my second round of the day today with my Innova meme bag. If you didn't catch my first round at Buxton, please go check that out. I'll link it somewhere. So hole A, listed at 305 on UDisc. It's kind of down this walking trail and up on the hill here. Decided to throw this DX Rock 3. Decent throw, except for that whole thing. Left myself kind of a reach out, deep in the ferns approach here. Reach for the AVRX3. I was actually carrying two of those in this bag along with a pig, and I just kind of like randomly picked which one I'd use on the holes. So got a nice par on this. I'll take par on most of these holes. In the middle of the summer, Stub is this lush, overgrown nightmare. So hole 2, probably the easiest on the course. It's hard to see, but it's 230 feet. You just got to get right of those triple trees there. I thought this one was too far left until I got down there and found myself right on the edge of the circle here. Not even edge of the circle, it's probably 20 feet. So relatively easy birdie. That was a Luster Invader, by the way. Hole 3, this one sucks. So I caught up to some guys who let me play through. This is like a winding S-shaped hole down a walking trail. It is hard as heck, frankly. It's a really hard par 3. I hit one of the early trees, left me a Firebird forehand approach that I got on the other side of the trail into a tree. So I've got this gap here to the left to try and slice through to get up by the basket, and I thought I'd done a pretty good job, but this fern I landed in here just ate me up, so it left me about 40 feet straddle out to get around the tree to the right of the basket, and I hit the tree anyway. I really wasn't feeling these putters. That blue one is a regular AVR, and the pink one is a Yeti AVR that's only 167 grams or something like that. I putt heavier putters. That one feels really floaty, and I kept trying to use it anyway. Hole 4 is down a hill. Had a couple guys who I ran into here, and one of them ended up playing with me for a while, so he was spotting for me. Tried the rock down the hill, hit a tree left. You can see the basket kind of in the bottom there. I just pitched up my AVR down to it. There's a decent sized little green down there once you get down by the basket. If you get off to the side, you're in Fernville. So hole 5, left to right, curving hole. You can kind of go straight at it. It's off to the right. You can't really see it here. I tried to go the big turnover, and I gave it a decent pull, and actually had a pretty good line at it. Ended up pin high to the left down the hill. I'm probably 50 feet here, but well within running range. And I gave it a pretty good little bid here. Again, with my regular putters, I feel like I probably have a better shot at this, but with these two AVRs that I've never used and was not comfortable at all with, not so much. Hole 6 is the opposite. Straight back up the hill, pretty steep up there. Basket's right behind my left shoulder right now. You'll see it in a second there. I threw a Pro Wraith here. It's pretty flippy, and it kept turning and turning and turning. Bonked off this tree to the right. We actually looked for this for a while and couldn't find it, and then when we gave up and were walking back to the basket, we saw it laying there. Left me just a little Invader upshot onto the steep slope for another tap-in par. That's Tim there. Hi, Tim. Hole 7, back down the hill, left to right. You kind of want to split these quote-unquote uprights here. I tried to throw a forehand with this Germbird that I was trying out, and it was really good until it nicked that tree. It probably would have been right up by the basket. So I went through the approach disc carousel here to the pig, which I kind of prefer to those Luster and or Star AVRX3s I have. Parked it under the basket for another tap-in par. Hole 8's in the short, kind of straight down the middle here to a kind of precarious basket on the side of a cliff, and I almost always yank it on this hole and end up down the hill. It is a little bit more sparse down there, so once you get down there, you can usually find your disc pretty easily and leave yourself a decent approach, except for the fact that I tugged this and left myself in circle 2. Scary putt here. Cliff is to the right there. Shouldn't come into play unless you do that. And I luckily didn't get too far. Hit that tree right there. Left myself 25 feet back uphill, and that wasn't too big of a deal. Hole 9 is labeled a little longer in UDisc and seems a little more accurate. It could be 247 as it said. I decided to try a forehand with the AVRX3, and I just wobble flex it off to the left. This pin you'll see is kind of sitting on a little ledge with some logs around it. I got really lucky to hit one of those logs and stop from rolling down the hill, and Tim actually got really lucky there too and was up against the rock. So said goodbye to Tim. 10 is back uphill here. I tried to do a destroyer flex forehand, and I, of course, turned it over like I always do, and it just kind of rode out. There's a road to the left there, and I landed right on it. I had a look up the hill, but this was 50 feet uphill and pretty steep up, so I was just kind of flinging it up there and hoping for the best, and I really didn't even get close on either of these runs. I ended up, 20 feet to the right, but no, I lied. More like 10 feet, but no real chance of going in. 11 is back downhill. There's this wall here, and you kind of want to throw it up over that wall and then have it fade out to the left down the path. A lot of the holes here at Stub are basically like hiking paths or roads with baskets on them, so a lot of times you really are just following those paths down the hill. I hit an early tree. My approach was a little fluttery and left, but I landed right here on the hill, so I was able to tap in for par there. Hole 12 is one where in the winter... Oh, nope, this isn't the hole I was thinking of. So hole 12 is downhill and to the right. This is actually a really hard par 4 despite the lack of distance. It's very tree-lined. Hit an early tree with my Firebird forehand. Didn't have much left, so I decided to just rip this Metal Flake Destroyer and try and roll up there. Hit an early tree. I considered rolling again here, but instead tried to rip a forehand up there. And I got an okay line on it, but I hit that last left side of the tree. Which left me this little run, which I actually took a little run at it and was an inch short of making my par. So I took the bogey there. 13 is the hole I was thinking I was on already. So in the winter, we kind of go straight through the ferns there or through the trees a lot of the time. I decided to try the forehand up the road this time, and this Metal Flake Destroyer is very overstable, and you can't really see it, but I got a skip at the end there too. Put me at probably 60 feet. Yet again, kind of long run range, and I gave it a decent shot. I missed by a couple feet, but both of these were pretty close, and as you'll see, they just kind of settled right next to the basket. 14, one of the most precarious holes in the state. Off to the right is just a cliff, and it just drops straight down. So you really want to stay left the whole time. I tried this big Annie flex with this Firebird, and I put too much Annie on it. Didn't quite fight out. Had a decent look up the fairway here. Decided to go Glow Eagle up to the basket. Faded out just left of the basket and left me, a decent birdie look. And I thought I put it in, and 167 gram putter just went right over the top. So that is what it is. Still pretty good result on that. No lost disc down the cliff is a win. Back uphill here for 15. It's kind of off to the right there. You can see it. I went stabled down to this Roadrunner to try and go up the hill, and I just cranked it way off to the right. By now, I was very much feeling this pig more. I just got cleaner releases forehand on it, and I put this right under the basket. Bucket. 16, another par 4, kind of relentless. It's all the way down this tunnel. I have learned in the past to not push this, so I just took that DX rock out, and I actually hit the line I was aiming for, faded right back to the middle of the fairway, and felt really good about my chances at a birdie here. You can kind of see the basket straight ahead there. And then I just shanked this invader and ruined any chance at a birdie. So had probably 120 feet here approach, maybe 100 feet, just threw that pig up there into the circle and took my par. I've seen some really ugly numbers on this. Me and my buddies have taken snowmen on this hole. Like, it's really easy to kick off in a nowheresville, so I'm okay with a par there. 17, kind of blind and down to the left here. I try and play the hyzer through the field goal gap there, and I actually missed way left, and you can kind of follow it, hit a tree, but it left me, circle 2 here. I had a decent look downhill, just didn't make a real good run at it, and put myself probably 20 feet beyond the basket. I would rather be a lot closer than this, but, ultimately it didn't really matter, and I was able to just put it in. And then finally on 18, this is a kind of another shortish par 4. It goes down a hill and up a hill. This probably was my best shot of the entire day. Just pulled this Metal Flake Destroyer on an Annie Pan flex, hit the fairway the entire way down, skipped up here in a circle 2. I probably could have tried a putt here, but I really wanted to just hit this gap and get under the basket for the birdie. Didn't quite get it, but I got myself to 20 feet up the hill and was able to get probably my most accomplished birdie of the day. So anyway, it's been another fun meme bag round. I think I'm done with this Innova bag for a while. Appreciate you guys watching this. If you haven't caught the Buxton one, check it out. Thanks, everyone.